which women are you going to take hold of? He says, take hold of the wisdom of this word, which is the wisdom of the Most High, not the wisdom of the world. And he calls the wisdom in the Bible a woman. Read that again.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, verse 22. Go after her as one that traceth and lie in wait in her ways.
Because you got some men, they chase beautiful women. And they think that that woman is going to be his redeemer. He said, I just got to get with that woman. But the Bible is relating the same thing to his word as a woman. You chase after the Bible the same way.
Right.
You chase after the word of the Most High. A lot of people don't know how to read the Bible, but you read it based on the law, statutes, commandments, and the prophecies. Now the prophecies is that we're going to come back into the understanding of who we are. And that this place called Babylon is going to be destroyed. How's it going to be destroyed? Look at it. She's destroying herself. With fornications with all other countries. It's going to come to pass. Every great nation fell. All right? Think about that. A lot of y'all think America's going to go on forever. We're trying to show you the kingdom of God coming on earth. Not our kingdom. Our kingdom, this place called America, this is not God's kingdom. Give me Revelation 12 and go to the 6th verse. Job chapter 12 and 6. Because all these people that are here in America, sister, how you doing today? Do you know you come from the tribes of Israel?
I don't know enough about it, sister.
You don't know enough?
I gotta keep reading.
You see this? You see the sign right here? All these people correlate with those people.
Oh yeah, wait.
Your father.
So,
My family's Dominican, yeah.
oh yeah, so you're Dominican? So you come out of Simeon. All right, so Simeon, those people in the Dominican Republic are the children of Israel. All right? So that's what we have to understand. So all these people have a nationality based on the Most High. Yeah, I got one. Right?
I got one.
It's the same one. On the bottom, there's a chart. It has a map in there too. But all the people that you see on the sign, all were taken into slavery. Okay? And we all were taken into slavery by slave ships. When you read the Bible, it talks about us going in captivity by slave ships in Deuteronomy 28:68. Now, all our people that are here in the Dominican Republic, people are very poor there, right? And they thrive off the commerce of the other countries coming there, right? Most of the commerce, right? The tourism and all of that. So that's all part of the prophecies. Why can't we own the establishments, the hotel industries there? We work in those hotels. You see, you go to Cuba, it's the same way. They thrive off the industry or the exports and imports of the bigger nations like America, and it used to be Russia. But now it's just America because Russia cut them off. So you got Cuba, you got Dominican Republic, you got, yeah, you see all that in there? So all that falls under the 12 tribes of Israel. Tell your mother, tell your father, this is who they come out of. They come out of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? And
Yeah,
we got brothers.
I'm trying to let them know because Dominicans, we have a lot of self-hate in our
Right.
society.
But see, that's all part of the laws.
Yeah.
The curses said that our people would be frowning upon their own people.
Yeah.
And it's because of the whitewashing that we've experienced. The Dominican Republican, who ruled y'all? I'm trying to remember again. Was it Spain? Spain came and conquered you guys, right? So a lot of the conquistadors came through there. They went to Hispaniola over there in Haiti, because Haiti's right next to you. Haiti are the Levites, okay? So when you read your Bible, Haiti and the Dominican Republicans, those are Simeon and Levi. Now in the Bible it says that they will dwell next to each other. Y'all the only ones dwelling next to each other, but it said that you guys will be cruelty of instruments, meaning weapons. Your weaponry will be killing one another. You guys have a right. You guys have a port.
They're trying to take Haitians out. It happened when Trujillo, he was a dictator before.
Right.
He killed like hundreds, like not thousands of people, and they had this mejorar la raza to improve the race or whatever, and it's the same thing.
It's not working.
Yeah, it's like an idea that we're bettering ourselves, but it's really we're just attacking ourselves and killing the best of ourselves.
Right, and a lot of the people believe in the religion of Brujeria, or you got voodoo over in Haiti.
Yeah.
So you got all these different philosophies, these doctrines, which basically is witch doctrines. It's not the doctrines of our forefathers, which was the Bible. Okay, you got that verse out?
I'll show you something real quick.
Read this.
This is Book of Genesis, which is what I just wrote on the bottom of your paper. Book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 5. It says, Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
Now you look, like I just spoke about earlier, Haiti and Dominican Republic, they got those weaponry, they're going and fighting and killing each other. It was on the news not too long ago.
Yeah, it's going on right now.
right. You guys have a border that opens and closes, what, once a week? Where you guys go and trade, and once that it's at the edge of Dominican Republic and the edge of Haiti, where you allow them to cross for a certain period of time to do trade, and a lot of the Haitians that come running over there to hide after that time period. When they close the gate, a lot of them are stuck over there hiding, but they've been killing them. A lot of Dominican Republic's been killing them, you know. But that's because the prophecies of our forefathers. I mean, we're not following the law, statutes, commandments, and we're looking at each other with that evil eye. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I want to say this. It tells you in the prophecy that we just read in Genesis 49, verse 5. It tells you that it says Simeon and Levi are brethren. Now, all these people on the sign right here are brothers and sisters, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why it specifies Simeon and Levi being brethren, because the Bible foretold that they will be on the same place, which is the island of Hispaniola. They're on the same island together, stuck with each other, and they're divided. They don't get along. So even though these are all their brothers right here, according to the Bible, it specified their brethren because they were going to be in the same place, which is the island, which is the island of Hispaniola. These people are one nation of itself. It's called the nation of Israel. Anybody that's not on that sign right there is considered a heathen or a Gentile. That will be your Caucasians. That will be your Asians, Chinese, Japanese. That will be Africans. Africans are not on that sign right there. The so-called Negroes in America. I'm sorry, what do you mean?
That you have.
Let me show you. When you go into the West Africa part of, most of us from Dominican Republic, Haiti, the Caribbeans, most of us, the Caribbeans was a port that they used to bring all of us to and put us there and then ship us out. Give me Hosea 7 and 8. They would put us there and then ship us out. Okay, so some of us went to the Dominican Republic based on tribes. Okay, that's why we know who we are when we tell you that you're from the tribe of Simeon, or the Haitians are from the tribe of Levi, because the Ashanti tribe, which is out of West Africa, they were the priests when we were in West Africa. They were the same people out of Israel. So in 70 AD, so I'm gonna slow it down for you so you can understand. 70 AD, when Christ, you believe in Christ? Jesus Christ?
Depends.
You believe in the Bible?
Yeah.
Okay, we believe in Yahushua, but the world ignorantly calls him that man, but he's that man. All right, this is not Christ. This is the devil. This is Caesar Borgia. The devil means deceiver. Okay, so this is who that is. So when we read the scriptures, we're talking about a man that looks like this, Christ. Okay, in the scriptures, the description of Christ describes him to look just like that. Revelation 1 and 13, Daniel 7 and 10, Daniel chapter 10. Okay, all through the Bible, all the prophets were black. They all had woolly hair, and we can prove it to you. That pamphlet has it as well. Hosea 7 and 8, you have it?
Yeah.
Look at this, sister. And this happened in Puerto Rico. This happened in the Dominican Republic. This happened all over, right? Read.
The book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8. Ephraim, he had mixed himself among the people.
So Puerto Ricans are Ephraim. So it says that Ephraim mixed himself amongst the people. But during that time, Ephraim represented all 10 tribes of the northern kingdom, which was the Dominicans, the Cubans, all of the people down in South America, the Mexicans, the Panamanians, and we got books to show you what they look like in the indigenous times. And they all look like us. Okay, read.
Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned.
So a cake not turned. If you cook a pancake, one side is brown, you flip it, what is it? White, right? That's because our people were mixing in with the conquistadors that came down. And when they mixed in, the ones that were birthed through those people, they tried to separate themselves. One went on this side, the other one went on this side, right? Go ahead.
Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not.
And he knoweth what?
And he knoweth it not.
Our people don't know. Keep reading, it's going to explain more.
Yea, gray hairs are here and there upon him.
Right.
Yet he knoweth not.
You can ask an old man and an old sister, just because they got gray hair, who was your forefather? They couldn't tell you either. So the Most High says, gray hair going to be on our people. They still not going to know who they are. So that's why this information has to get out now. Now that we know who we are, we're spreading it across the globe. It's all over the earth now. You know, when we first came into it, wasn't that many people that knew it, but people are starting to realize that, yes, this is the truth. And there's so many artifacts and so many books that prove that these people are the children of Israel, including ourselves being Hebrews. We have to wake up and tell our people, because we are living in the last days. So when you look at the Dominicans, a lot of them got to understand it as well, because they're being destroyed as a people through the tourism. You know, so how do we fix it? By doing this. We actually got brothers in the Dominican Republic who teach this word.
Just
And
like
in Haiti,
us.
and in Cuba.
They probably have a little bit of a harder time.
Yeah, I'm sure, because a lot of y'all, a lot of the Dominicans, are snoring. Y'all ain't sleep. Y'all are snoring. But look at Oakland. Look at West Oakland. They sleep here too.
They sleep, yeah.
You know. But I'll tell you this: in the Caribbeans, if we went out in the Caribbean right now,
They'll
we
listen.
have about 30 people sitting
they'll
down
listen.
right now.
More so than
They'll be out there with their Bibles. The tribe of
Oh,
Benjamin.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, they'll listen.
Yeah. So
Because see, you know what? Because see, they are experiencing poverty on a different level. Like, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. When you deal with Americanized Mexicans, they're just as asleep as Negroes.
Right.
But when you deal with Mexicans that come across that border, they listen. Because I work in San Francisco.
Knowledge of that they still keep.
Oh yeah. Well, see, I work in San Francisco, and I meet Mexicans from both sides. I meet Americanized Mexicans who sag their pants and act a damn fool like Negroes do, and then I meet Mexicans that come across that border who can't speak that much English, but when I give them this pamphlet, their eyes get big.
Yeah.
Especially when I show them that Mexicans are part of the children of Israel, and then I read what God said about them in the Bible, their eyes get big. Whereas Mexicans that I meet that's Americanized, the ones that try to dress hip and be all hip, which they are hip because they are people, they got the same spirit, they just kind of like whatever. But the Mexicans come across that border on a whole different level. In fact, the Mexicans that come across the border, they fit the characteristics of Issachar in the Bible because the Bible calls them a donkey. It says they work hard. Well, I used to own a business. When I hired Mexicans that could speak English, they worked their butt off.
I'm from Harlem, and like Spanish
Okay.
Harlem is right there. Like any Spanish neighborhood that you go to anywhere, like I'm in Fruitvale right now. All you see is small businesses, families, people going to work, people trying to make something of themselves, not like
Let me say
letting
this.
time fly by.
Well, Mandrakes, when Issachar was born, he was born in Mandrakes. That's a place where men work. And so that's where they get their name from. The mother was happy when she came out, when her husband came from working in that area. She said, God gave me my hireling. Hard working. So that their name represents who they are.
Right.
You know, so you see a lot of the Mexican tribes, they work hard like that because that's what their forefathers
They
did.
sit in Home Depot parking lot,
Right.
waiting. You don't see brothers doing that. Brothers ain't gonna do that.
Now this-
but the Mexican brothers will.
Now you ask, how do we know that we're from West Africa, and how do we know that the Hebrew Israelites lived there? This book right here is Western history, Western African history. It's written by this man here. Now this is just a collage, chronicles of when the so-called white man went into West Africa and the people that he got. He systematically picked people from the Africans. Now the Africans and the Israelites, that was your question. Africans are different from Israelites. There was, just because we all come from Africa, do you know how many countries are in Africa?
Like 30-something.
Right, there's a lot of countries, right? It's a great big continent. If you came to America, you pull anybody from America, took them into another country, you call them American, right? But does that describe their nationality? No, it doesn't. It's the same thing in Africa. When they pulled us out of Africa, a lot of us already knew who we were by our nationality. We were dwelling amongst Hamitic people, which were African tribes. Just like Moses dwelt amongst the Egyptians. Okay, when Moses was living amongst the Egyptians, he looked just like the Egyptians, but he was not an Egyptian, he was an Israelite. Joseph also dwelt in Egypt. He looked like Egyptian, but he was not an Egyptian, he was an Israelite. Same thing with us when we was in Africa. Just because we all had dark skin, the scripture tell us that we had different shades of brown, the Israelites. The Hamitic nations were really, really dark. The only nations that favored us were the Ethiopians. And if you look at the Ethiopians, they do favor most of the 12 tribes of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians. Okay, now look at this. It says, this is what this captain of this boat wrote in 1765. He went into West Africa looking to extract Negroes, right? It says, the inhabitants of Bonny, when our author last visited that port, anointed to about 3,000, he says they are chiefly a mixture of the Igbo or Hebo and the brass tribes. So Hebo, you know what that means? Hebrew. It's a decrepit word for Hebrew. So our people were Hebrews in that land. So they systematically went for the brass tribes. And then they brought us over to the Americas. Look at it. It says, the latter deriving their name from the importation into their country, which lies to the northward and westward of Bonny, of a kind of European-made brass pans known in the trade by the name of Neptunes. So it goes on, but it says, the Igbos, who are also from a neighboring country, have already been spoken of as a superior race. Now I got a dictionary, Webster's Dictionary, that talks about who the Negroes are. It says a dominant people in West Africa. So that goes hand in hand with this. So the people that they brought here, let me ask you, if you had your own country, brand new country, and you wanted somebody to build it up, and these people had all kinds of knowledge, would you get the people who didn't have information or knowledge of engineering or math or anything like that? Would you get those dumb people, or would you get people who had understanding of fixing
people
things?
with the knowledge in their
Right.
culture and in their history.
So that's what the white man did.
Let me show you something.
He went and here, we're going to go right to it. Go to the page. He went to the people that had that knowledge and took them captive and brought them over to the ports of the Caribbean and separated us based on the trades that we knew. That's why you got some of us went to America, some of us went to Dominican Republic, some went to Cuba, some went to Hispaniola. All right, that's how we all got there based on our trade. Now the people in Haiti, they were our priests, so they were the most ones that would fight all the time. So they had to separate us from them because they would rile us up. It's like having a pit bull and you have all these other dogs, and that pit bull keep causing all the problems. They had to separate the Haitians away from us because they kept getting us all riled up. So that's what the white man did when he came and got us. Read this. Listen to this. This is a scholar. His name is Rudolph Rizzi. He graduated from Harvard with a doctorate. It says more than one doctorate. But he did a research on this. And the brother's going to read it, page what, 90?
This is from the book called From Babylon to Timbuktu. Come down a little bit. Thank you. Page 90. It says the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. This is when we fled in Africa. They carried from Jerusalem. It says they carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them.
Right, so we already had all this when we left Israel in West Africa. We carried all that stuff with us. Go ahead.
This assured them a consistent proceeding for the development of a higher society organization.
Right, that's why if you go to West Africa, you see all these castles and everything. That was our buildings, that was our castles. We built all that up. The Africans didn't have that, right? But they had to conquer us in order to get it. So now they're in our castles. Get it? Come on.
Because of the stability of the black Jews' culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the, what's that word?
That's autonomous. To say autonomous.
Autonomous population. Excuse me. I always get that word up. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Guyana states were found kings, princesses, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armorers, saddlers, blacksmiths, architects, etc.
All of these people are here today in America. So now they used us up. Now they're trying to destroy us because they don't need us no more.
Hey, excuse me, my brother. Hey, excuse me. And what I just read for you, it's funny, but if you do the history, if you go on your computer and you put in Black Wall Street, back in 1924, Negroes was less than, a little bit over 50 years of coming out of slavery in the Deep South. A lot of Negroes migrated to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they started their own society there, which they dubbed Black Wall Street. And they had banks, they had churches, they had theaters, they had hospitals, they had private airplanes. Them Negroes was doing it big. They was black businessmen, made up of like over 100 black businessmen. And what the white men do? Drop bombs on them people. What I just read for you, back in 70 AD, or around that time, after people fled out of Jerusalem, we developed a high society in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as we did before that in 70 AD in Africa. Same thing. Everything Negroes do is special. If it wasn't for you and I, wouldn't nobody watch TV when it come time to sports. If it was just Caucasians playing sports, wouldn't nobody want to watch no white men shooting up and down the sports. They come to see you. They come to see her. They come to see her.
They gotta keep us busy and occupied with everything other than our Bible.
Right.
You know? When the Europeans went off, the Negroes looked at it and was like, no, you do it this way. We do it the right way. So we always kept our laws intact. When the Europeans came down, they tried to go against it. We were like, no, we follow our laws. Okay? So we wasn't some savages swinging from trees. That wasn't us.
Yeah, that's exactly
You know?
what I was taught in elementary school.
Right. Well, see, in elementary school they taught you that? Where'd you grow up at?
In Harlem.
What part of Harlem? Okay, you were in a good area. What school did you go to?
For middle school, for elementary school, I went to CS 200, and then I went to Frederick Douglass Academy.
Okay, you went to a private school.
It was a public school, but it was like college oriented.
College prep.
Yeah, college, exactly.
So they was teaching you right. But see, people are not getting that information now. So that's why we're out here trying to wake up our people. In these days and these times, it has to be brought out in the open on the streets in order for our people to wake up, right? So what do? If we can't get out here, that's the importance of the TV, the YouTube, newspapers, all of that stuff comes into play.
Yeah, and the conference calls, that's something new.
That's big.
Like I heard about the 12 tribes of Israel, but I didn't know where me and like my people fit into it. But now, like I know.
And on that side.
Yeah, and then the fact that y'all told me about the Levi and Simeon, like
It's right in the Bible.
It's all in the
It's prophesied, right in the
Yeah.
scriptures.
All right, yeah.
Just let me read this last thing as you walk away. Last one. This is the book of it's the Compact Bible Dictionary. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. We're gonna go into the H's. This word is Ham. It says Ham. This is the son of Noah. Oh, it's gonna tell you that. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
When you look at Genesis chapter 10, it breaks down those nations. But this scholar is telling you the Negroes are not part of those people. They are not Egyptians. They are not Ethiopians. They are not Sudanese. They're not Libyans. We're totally different. Okay? We're not, those people are the Africans. We're the Israelites. We're the Hebrews that was dwelling amongst the Africans. All these people you see walking, we're the Hebrews. Okay, now you see Ethiopians, Somalians come moving to our land, into our area, they don't conjugate with us. They do their own thing, right? Totally different. But in Harlem, you see the same thing with the tribes. You see Dominicans over here, you see the Puerto Ricans over here, see the Cubans over here, see the Negroes over here. That's because they're destroyed for lack of knowledge. They don't know who they are. But we all dwell in the same community. Every city, those tribes dwell in the same communities. And normally the people who own the stores are the people who are not the tribes, the Africans, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Koreans. They own the stores. Like I was telling earlier, it's 12% or 13.6% of the Negroes dwell here in America. That's all we got, right? We keep killing ourselves off too at the same time. You gotta factor all that in. But out of the 13.6%, only a half or 1% own establishments, corporations. A half of 1%. Is that sad? That's terrible, right? Every time you see us get an establishment, it opens for a little small period of time, like a barbecue shop. A year from now, when taxes come around, they lose it, right?
Or if we do start an establishment, like say your mother and grandmother, those that came from like say the South, and those that really have an appreciation for business or just make it in that sense, it'll last as long as they're alive. Right. Well, let them die. They ain't gonna pass. It's not gonna get passed to the kids. They gonna continue. Right. White folks got vineyards out in Napa.
Yeah, and then they give it to
this one guy that I met. I complimented his vineyard. I said, this is a beautiful vineyard. It was a beautiful vineyard by Calistoga. Green, serene air, beautiful. You know what he told me? He said, man, I could never own this with my own money. He said, my wife inherited it from her parents. Now, Negroes, when we inherit stuff from our parents, the first thing we do is sell.
Yeah, that's what's happening in Harlem, too.
Yeah.
Like the brownstones
gentrification.
there, those are really like historic pieces of land, but people are selling their brownstones.
Right, Harlem is not even the same Harlem.
Nah.
You got gentrification going on.
The spirit is there. Harlem is really beautiful, and people are like really waking up over there and like realizing their own power, but they don't have like this knowledge. They know that they're
well,
great,
there's brothers out the corners.
This kind of knowledge.
They got it.
There's sis. Next time you're in New York, just really focus. You're gonna come across some brothers that's on the street corners in Harlem too. Because if you go on a computer, you'll see it.
Right, be careful. All of us teach the same thing, but some of us
kind of go off a little bit.
You're right. Yeah, I've seen it in Harlem.
Yeah. Different group though. We all ain't the same group.
Yeah.
I mean, we are brothers.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
some
the
brothers,
knowledge is
the knowledge,
same.
yeah.
The knowledge, as long as they keep the law, statutes, and commandments, then they follow on the Bible. If they're not taught about the law, statutes, and commandments, history is a part of it, prophecy is a part of it.
Absolutely.
The law, statutes, and commandments is straightness. You see what I'm saying? Without the law, statutes, and commandments, our people will be just like they are now, destroyed. Because they're killing each other, they're breaking the law, they're stealing from each other, they're hating on each other, they're stealing each other women, women stealing each other men. That's breaking all the laws. They don't teach on that, then they're not following
To
what the scriptures say.
recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam.
Because in these small countries, there's a remnant of us still there that never left. If you look in certain places in India, they got people just like us over there. That's the remnant of slaves that were slaves in their land. 1,200 years prior to us coming over here, we was in captivity under the Arabs, and they was taking people from West Africa to Asia Minor for 1,200 years. So we got people all in those lands too. Read.
And from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
What?
And from the islands of the sea.
America is a giant island. South America is a giant island. Read.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations,
This is the inside, the Holy Scriptures.
and shall assemble the outcast of
We're
Israel,
the outcast of Israel. Come on.
and gather together the dispersed of Judah.
We would have dispersed. Judah is the one that's going to wake up our
Slave
people.
trade.
Right? It said that Judah in the last days is going to be the one that woke up the other tribes. Deuteronomy 33 and 7. Read.
From the four corners of the earth,
The what?
from the four corners of the earth,
North, south, west, and east is the four corners of the earth. Read.
the envy also of Ephraim,
Now our people, Ephraim, that's the 10 tribes. That's Dominican Republic, that's Cubans. A lot of the people don't like Judah. Like you said in Harlem, they look down on Judah. You got the different gangs, they go against Judah. Right? Judah is the Negroes. Okay? Come on. Not all of us are Negroes because we all come out of the waters of Judah, the Negroes, but we separate ourselves based on the tribes. Read.
the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
We're not going to be jealous of each other anymore when that day comes, when he bring us again a second time from this land. Now, we are here teaching you, and this is prophecy, Deuteronomy 33 and 7, read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear, Lord, the voice of Judah.
Did you not hear our voice when you came up?
Oh yeah.
He said, hear the voice of Judah. Now, the voice of Judah is like all these singers you see, too. You see all the singers are mostly of Judah. All right, come on.
Bring him unto his people.
What?
Bring him unto his people.
We're bringing you back to the 12 tribes of Israel. So it's your job to do the same thing, and this sister, too.
Let his hands be sufficient for him. And be thou a help to him from his enemies.
Right, so the Most High blessed us to go amongst our enemies because you had the census where you couldn't say anything. Now it's freedom of speech. We could go out here and speak. You can't do this in other countries. You know what I mean? Some countries you go out and speak, they'll kill you. We could come out, the Most High got us shielded in America to go out and teach our people to wake up because of that freedom of speech here. So the Most High is all prophetic when it went into place, okay, until the last days come. All right?
This is the word of the Lord of hosts. I took you from the pasture to be following the sheep, to be prince over my people Israel.